I am Karen Rae. This is Fave Biz Society and our lifestyle community. And you know what? Today we are going live with Tracy Oberg, and we are talking about stepping up and showing up on social media and doing a community highlight. You know, ladies, there is so much to being a woman entrepreneur or whatever it is, whatever your passion is that you are trying to make an impact in life. And so we're just going to have a fun little conversation today with Tracy and ask her some questions about being a woman entrepreneur. So good morning, Tracy. How are you?
Good morning, Karen. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here with you today.
Oh, it's so good to have you. You know, it's one of my desires. So I keep talking about this hashtag celebrating 1 million women. And it's our stories and how we're getting through life because, you know, we have so many shared experiences and the things that you have and have experienced can maybe give us some hope and maybe some lessons to be learned along the way. And, you know, it's just fun having some other girlfriends to walk in life with. So that we're just going to get to know you today. And so, Tracy, tell us a little bit about you and what you do in life here.
Well, I run a small business with my husband. I have been doing it with him for 10 years. The business is 40 years old, though. He has done it since he was about 14. He's worked with his parents. So we took it over in 2008, and I stepped up when the children were 3 and 5, when my youngest went to preschool. So I joined him then.
Yeah, so Oberg filters. So you are in a male-dominated field. I would imagine. I would imagine your clients, there's a lot of male testosterone there. And so, you know, let's talk a little bit about that. And you work with your husband.
Yes.
And yes. Okay. Anybody else out there ever experienced this where you are in a field where, it's a little bit different because we talk a lot about women here. So, but women are also in these fields. So I think it'd be fun to talk a little bit about what is that like? Because obviously you've been in it a long time and you've done other things as well, other businesses on your own too, I understand. So let's talk a little bit about that, the kind of, what is it like being in a male-dominated field?
I have been in a male-dominated field for a lot of years. I was in an auto dealership for 14 years, so the majority of people were male at that time. It was very much run by males. I am used to that. I don't stand down. I set my boundaries. I am pleasant and kind. They're humans. Once they realize that I can actually answer the tech questions the majority of the time, then they're like, okay, we can talk with you. And it's also confusing because my husband and I both have unisex names. So until they get us on the phone, his name is Kelly and I am Tracy. So they don't know which gender they're asking for. So,
well, isn't that interesting? Yes. So it looks like I'm just going to read a couple of the comments here. I do believe it's Deborah Trapen saying, good morning, lionesses. And so good to have people here sharing our stories with us. And it says, yes, I was in the marine industry at 23. Yes. So I also can relate because my dad was in the construction industry and I worked for him. And so, like you said, if you have that knowledge and you stand in that confidence in that knowledge, yes, it goes a long way. So the second piece of this that is kind of fun and interesting is working with your husband.
Yes, that has been a challenge, but I think after 10 years, we've got a good flow going now.
So do you find as you go through, I mean, you know, you've got kids, you've got all these different phases of life. And so how old are your kids now?
They're 13 and 15. So
okay, so they're still in the thick of it and all that good school stuff. So how do you guys balance things to kind of balance out the kids, the job, and because you also used to have another side project too, right?
I still do, yes.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get into that a little bit too.
I set boundaries, and he was actually good about this because I was a workaholic. We set boundaries, so 9 to 4, Monday to Friday, and then we turn off phones. We don't answer if it's work related. I do the side gig afterwards, but between 9 to 4, Monday to Friday is work related. If I need to do something for a field trip, I will go in and work a couple of hours earlier. So he set those boundaries. And if we have a personal fight or an issue or difficulties, talking about the kids, we don't bring that to work. We still are professional with each other. We answer each other. We're not rude. We're very considerate and respectful. So
yeah, it sounds like you said, you have set clear boundaries. Work time is work time. This is where we are professionals. We've been doing this for a while, and then being able to just freely enjoy each other after those hours. I love how clearly that is set, and setting those goals and those boundaries and just having that clear direction. Boy, it sure makes life a lot easier. So that is a great tip for us. So the other piece to this, let's talk a little bit, because you also have a side hustle.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that.
I started with H2O at home 4 years ago when I wanted something more than working in the shop with my husband. And it was the best decision I've made. I've made all these communities, all these women that I didn't know I was missing. Personal growth, the books, the being here online, live. I was a Cub Scout leader, and I could not speak in front of people. So for the announcements and awards, I had to hand it off. I just could not do it.
Okay, we are going to pause for a second, because we are going to celebrate you. That was one of our questions. What can we celebrate with you? Tracy, just coming on here and talking to our community. Congratulations. I know this is a big step for a lot of people, and you had to do all that growth first to come and be able to speak and just share your, some of your experiences and your story with us. So thanks for coming on. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So here you were doing something for you. And like you said, connecting in a community. And that is so important to find a space where you can belong, where you can grow and thrive and connect with other women like you. So yeah. So tell us a little bit too, kind of what you have, so you've gotten a lot of different things out of being a multi-passionate entrepreneur. So any tips for women who are looking to be a part of something and do something for themselves? Any experiences or stories you'd like to share there?
Yes, finding a community like yours or the chamber, or for me, it was direct sales brought that to light, but there's so many networking groups. I'm in one called the Empowered Women in Arlington. There's so many in Snohomish as well, but just around the globe, there are women groups, and it's so important to connect with other women, because we have different struggles than men. We have different hats to wear. We have different things to balance. It's a little challenging, and it's nice to have somebody to talk to about that who understands, and then you can carry on and move forward and present yourself to the world.
Yes, and love on you along the way, because we've all been there. So as you're trying to balance all these different things, what is one of the struggles that you have come through as you have developed these different pieces of your business?
We've had a lot of loss in the last few years. So struggling with depression for me, my husband, and how that affected the kids, because we lost 5 people in a year. They were all significant. And showing up for the business was super hard, but putting my family's health first and then the business second, and hoping it would still be there, which it is, thankfully, and just giving yourself grace and finding the communities to help. I went into group coaching in September. I found a mastermind in January. I just keep finding communities to keep uplifting me and surrounding myself with amazing, brilliant people.
That's it right there. I have to say, whatever community people can belong to, it is sometimes so important. And you need different communities sometimes in different parts of your life, like as you were losing people. And I know a lot of people have walked that walk and those uncertainties of life. And I know that's one of the key characteristics of women at Fave, is that our families are super important to us. And so how do you manage that with life uncertainties? Because we all have things, there's things with our husbands, our kids, our parents. We're in that time frame where a lot of transitions, we're going through empty nester, menopause, our parents were in that sandwich generation where our kids were becoming mentors to our children, or they're becoming mentors to us. and we're developing new relationships with our spouses and our parents because we're all going into different phases. And wow, a lot to manage and to find that tribe, if you will. It's so great. Awesome. So let's do a couple. So we have things to celebrate with you. We've talked a little bit about our struggles. So what does success mean to you?
Success is finding balance and having enough personal stability and growth that I can help somebody else out. So being able to give back to the community, having the time, the energy, and the finances. But it's not just finances. It's having the resources and having your cup full so you can give back.
Oh, isn't that great? I would imagine you do that a lot in your side hustle, where you're connecting with people and feeling like you're helping them out with different products and services.
Yeah, not just helping them with the products, but other people with side hustles and connecting. And I have accountability partners, the local Avon lady, and we meet monthly, and we're accountable together. We just help each other out.
I love it. You were speaking our speak here. You're talking about consistency and community and accountability. That's kind of what we're all about here, Fave. So yes, I love that you're talking on those topics because it is so important to have that support and to celebrate your wins and have somebody, even if it's that little thing, that accountability partner where you're going, oh, I sent that email. I was really scared to send it to her. And I think I did it okay. Sometimes it's just those little things. And it's like, yeah, I got my kids everywhere they needed to be this week and went to work.
Yes. One big thing for me is getting a newsletter out. I don't know why that is so hard, but getting a newsletter out for both companies, speaking to men in their 60s and then women I can relate to.
Yes. And I believe, that is a skill. And so, and to have that encouragement, it's like, okay, yes, I can get that newsletter out this week and what needs to go in there. So yes. And lots of, it's great to be able to tap into people who have some, knowledge around that, how to make it easier, how to make that, with that piece of ease, if you will. So yes. And so tell us, let's see. Oh, I know. In moments of doubt, when business is, hey, COVID was tough for a lot of people. In those moments of doubt, because you're running two businesses, you've got to be managing these kids like we were talking about. Those moments of doubt, what do you do?
Well, if it's something simple, and then I would put myself into what I would say if my sons were in this position. But what advice would I give them? What would I want them to do? What decision would I want them to make? And then if it's something really tough, like overcoming fear to speak in public, I jumped out of a plane and I did it twice. And I just remember, if I can do that, and I was petrified, I can do this. This is easy compared to that.
So sweet. So ladies, everybody out there, this is one, thank you for saying that, Tracy, because it's what I call your book of proof. I'm currently working on a journal called Celebrate You, and that you'll have a place. So ladies, I really encourage you. And I didn't come up with this. This is actually from a counselor that I worked with, a life coach. And she said to write down those little things like that, because, or keep it in your memory bank. It's like, wait, I jumped out of an airplane twice.
Right.
I mean, great, congratulations on that. That would be a huge fear of mine. But just to write down that and just keep remembering. I love how you bring that up in when it's that doubt or when those thoughts come creeping in. So remember something that you have done and bring that back up. And how would you want to tell your children to get through it? So I love that piece of advice. Thank you. And so what is one of your traits that you think has served you best as an entrepreneur?
I am determined. So I don't give up easily. I don't give up when I should, but it also helps me too.
Oh, I love that determination. Fabulous. Yes. So as we close out here, so what is one piece of advice you would like to give from one entrepreneur to another that you could leave the ladies with?
Find a community. go out and find a community today. It uplifts you. When life knocks you down, you can do it yourself. But if you have a community, you're going to get there faster. You have that support.
Oh, I love it. And it's, finding that the tribe that like you had said earlier, that understands you, that hears you, and makes you just feel really special. So thank you, Tracy. Thank you for coming on today at our Fave Lifestyles and our Business Society here, and lots of words of wisdom there to share. So thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you for having me today, Karen.
Alrighty. We'll see you next time at Fave Lifestyles.